This is the Nerdy Things Podcast. This podcast contains strong language, adult themes, and poorly developed ideas. We apologize for nothing. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of the Nerdy Things Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kevin. I am joined, as always, by Jules. Hey, Jules.
Heyo.
And by Tim. What's going on, Tim?
What's up, gentlemans?
Not much. Recording nice and early. Gonna get a bright start on the day.
Yeah, not as early as we would have liked. Jules is like half dead, apparently.
No, I'm okay.
Jules is very
I'm half
tired.
dead.
Yep. Neither of you followed up on the suggestion for times, so that's fine. We're here.
Because y'all don't understand. It's an hour earlier for me.
We do understand.
Again.
We just don't care.
Oh,
Well,
okay. Well,
I'm on day 5 in a row of 14 straight work days. I'm going in after we record today, so
wow.
suck it up,
Do you want a
Jules.
medal or something?
I would like a medal, yes.
A pin, perhaps?
I would
Whoa,
like a pin.
Segue,
Do we have
what?
pins, Jules?
What?
Oh.
I'm back. I'm here. I'm awake. So
Who's rocking
something
the
really cool.
transitions today, Kevin?
Right.
That is apparently Jules.
Anyways, let me do it. Jeez. Okay. Nerdpins.net. Super cool. They are a sponsor for us this week. and
Don't
that's
say it
super
like
cool.
a question.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's like,
Nerdpins.net is a sponsor of the Nerdy Things Podcast.
there you go. Run that over what I just said. Nerdpins.net is super cool. They are based in LA. Anyways, Nerdpins is the brainchild of Joe Van Dyke, a Florida man living in downtown Los Angeles. Joe has an extensive background in arts and music, having spent all of his 20s playing and touring in punk and hardcore bands and organizing large group art shows around Florida. Nerdpins is not limited to one specific style, but an umbrella that allows Joe to make and pursue anything he feels like creating. All of the pins and products are designed by him, some paying homage to music, movies, art that he is a fanboy of, others being original ideas and images of his own. Nothing is off limits for Nerdpins, whether it be thought-provoking or provocative or simple and amusing. Yeah, they sponsored this episode. They gave us some pins. We're going to be doing a giveaway. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that later, but go visit nerdpins.net. We got some, and there's some pretty cool ones, and they feel really awesome. So go check them out. Nerdpins.net and then nerdpins on Instagram. I have what? What do I have?
Hey, Jules, what do you got for us?
Jules has something, I think, Kevin.
A review that's super interesting, and it was rocked my world when I read it, and I had to tell you, I had to let y'all know. And we got a lot of reviews, so thank you for everybody that reviewed on iTunes, that reviewed anywhere else, because that really, really helps us out a lot. That gets us like higher on the charts and gets us a lot more exposure for people that are looking for like nerdy stuff. So
I'm not convinced it does
in,
any of that, but I still love seeing the reviews.
Yeah, there you go. Well, because there's not enough people that do it. So if more of you, we see you listening, all you got to do is just like iTunes, boom, say, hey, this thing doesn't suck. Boom, 4 stars maybe. That's cool. 4 or 5.
Guys, we
Aim
know
low,
for
Jules.
sure that we have over multiple people who listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
We have over one.
Over
There's
multiple
at least
people.
like 4.
There's at least 4. So
Listening consistently
Write
20
reviews.
times each. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 3 of us and Will.
Yeah, there you go. But this iTunes review is really cool, and I want to talk about it. It's by Latin Jonas, and it says, oh, fucking kill me. It's by Latin Jonas. The title says, Saved My Marriage, a comprehensive and concise podcast covering subjects relating to all the things we love. 3 individuals with different opinions, yet all share the same passion for the nerdy things. What's best is their consistency and loyalty to their listeners, and they saved my marriage. Great stuff, guys. I like how he just puts it like at the end, like that wasn't the big deal.
Just casual, like slipping
like,
it
oh,
in
yeah.
there. Oh, BT dubs. Also, I'm still married. Thanks.
yeah, just throws it in. I love this podcast. They talk about really cool stuff. It's very interesting. This is what they do. Oh yeah, and they saved my marriage. Bye.
Also, they cured
Yeah.
cancer. What?
Their
there was no explanation behind this. There was no context. I am a human being that needs context.
I was sure that this was a joke. Like, this was definitely something I would do. I actually sent an email to someone the other day that isn't responding to me, and the title was, "I'm pregnant," and the body just said, "And it's yours."
Wow.
That is a Kevin thing to do, if I've ever heard it.
Still haven't heard from him. Still haven't heard.
But yeah, they reached out to us on Twitter. So thank you. Thank you for all the reviews. Thank you, and you're welcome. Question mark?
Thank you to Latin Jonas. Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Latin Jonas.
So like the Latin Jonas brother?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's the
get it.
fourth
Yeah.
Jonas.
I didn't
brother.
even put that.
Fourth?
So
Sixth? I don't know.
congratulations for listening to Latin Jonas and Mrs. Latin Jonas.
And I'm sorry
So, yeah.
for both of you.
Yeah,
So if you wanna
I'm
reach
not
us-
sorry. We're awesome.
Yeah, if you want to reach us and talk to us and all that stuff, you can go ahead and tweet us at NerdyThingsPod, NerdyThingsPod. You can find us on Instagram as well, Facebook, and NerdyThingsPod.com. You can get to our Patreon. You can get to some news articles that we have there. You can get to merch, and there's something really cool that's going on with the merch. And that's, what is it? It's going to be like a day.
Yeah. One more day.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on with merch, Kevin?
Yeah, it's on sale. TeePublic is having a sale. Tees are $14. Everything else is a little bit reduced as well. And I, unfortunately, that is, I've had it on the website. We've been tweeting it out, but it is when you're listening to this, because I assume everyone listens to this the day we release it. Today is the last day. And if you're listening to this at some point in the future, hey, but you've missed the sale.
Yeah, you can go back and check if it's on sale now.
Yeah,
if
there'll
you're
be another
listening to
one.
it in the future.
I'm sure. TeePublic does this all the time. That's why I love them. But yeah, check it out.
Yeah. Go get some cool nerdy merch from us and support podcasts and all that stuff.
Hey, I got a quick question for you, Jules.
Sure.
I don't have an Apple computer in my house, which is a total lie, but I don't feel like getting on my wife's laptop. How do I leave a review to someone on iTunes? Because it doesn't seem like I can get on and do that on the computer, on their website. It seems like I actually have to have iTunes.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thanks. That's all I wanted to know.
I think you do actually have to have a iTunes
All right, that
something,
is
and then
bullshit. All right, cool.
Can you not download iTunes on a PC?
I
haven't owned a PC in years, but I know what I used to be able to.
you can.
I run Linux.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not going to jump through like 30 hoops to install iTunes on Linux. I'm just going to give it up and just walk away.
Guys, is our problem that our demographic is too nerdy to leave an iTunes review? Like 40% of our listeners are running Linux and they can't download iTunes.
Like, I run Android on my phone. I've got Linux on the computer only because I'm too cheap to pay for Windows. I found a podcast the other day. I actually reached out on Reddit to see if there were any podcasts local to Boston that I haven't heard about before. I got suggested one that it's called 2-Bit Geeks. Guys having a conversation, and I wanted to leave them a review, and I'm going to have to figure that out now.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah, that you're the worst kind of nerd.
Sorry. Didn't mean to derail it.
I don't know what's going on.
By figure it out, he means he needs to ask his wife if he can get on her laptop.
Yeah, that's
like it's really that simple, but he's making it way harder.
No, honest to God, all I have to really do is like build or reset up any of the other computers I own. I just don't have the motivation to do that. I'm busy doing other things.
Or just say, "Hey Jay, can I have your laptop for a second?"
Yeah,
done.
Too much of a pain in the ass to do that. I'd rather, honest to God, I'm looking around and I'm like, I've got like 4 motherboards. I've got 3 processors. I have enough RAM laying around and hard drives. I can do this. Just give me half an afternoon.
I have a MacBook Air sitting in front of an iMac right now.
Wow.
Like, that's my station presently. My iMac is
Nice.
off and I have a MacBook Air sitting in front of it. So
that's
and
funny.
with my iPhone next to me.
Dang.
Oh yeah, that's right. I could
Just
boot
a
up
little bit.
either of my iPads.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, we're really getting deep
Just
into
do
this.
that.
But that would require me to charge them. I don't know.
Oh my
iPads do take a little bit to charge. Take
Kevin
maybe
is the
10,
worst.
15 minutes. Yeah.
Seriously, I'm looking
I
at
don't know
2
if you have
iPads that are mine and mine alone right now.
Kevin, you are the living worst.
I am
in this
the
moment.
worst.
Let's do it.
Let's get into the nerdy news.
Nerdy news.
At 6 o'clock. Do you guys hear that MoviePass just came down to $9.95 a month from $45 a month?
Yeah.
You know what MoviePass is, Jules?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, has it ever been relevant to get it? Like, do people get it, or did people get it before this?
Yeah.
$10 thing?
I've been following this on Reddit, and apparently a lot of people did get this because it was even at $45, or I think before that it was $35 because the price has been fluctuating. But if you go to the movies once a week or even 3 times a month, it was worth having because, you know, movie tickets are $14, $15 each now, and that's the price of that. Really, at $10 a month, it's a no-brainer. You can go to a movie a day. It has most major movie theaters. It's like a debit card type thing. You have to be at the theater to buy the ticket, but with like AMC near me, you can buy it through their app. I think you still have to be on property because they want to make sure you're actually going to the movie.
Sure.
But that's super cool. Like, you can select your seats and everything and not have to worry about it. I signed up for it. It's a 2-week free trial. I am not being paid to promote them. But yeah, I think it's super cool. I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. They've actually said that they guarantee the $9.95 price for 12 months if you sign up.
Oh, okay. See, that's what, you know, I was curious about as well. It's like, it's $9.95 now, like, for, I guess, like the first month you would say, and then after the first month it's going to be back to whatever it was, 50 or 30 or whatever. But if they guaranteed an actual, you know, thing, they actually say it, like, this is going to be $9.99 for however long, that's awesome. And that's
I mean, they were
great
in
idea.
trouble.
Too many problems.
Too many problems.
Tim, how is that a problem?
Because Tim likes to make problems from everything. Go ahead, Tim. Tell us.
No,
enlighten us.
You can't do 3D movies.
Okay, nobody cares.
Perfect.
Some of us like 3D movies.
Listen, I'm not James Cameron. I don't give a shit about 3D movies.
You can't do IMAX movies. Love going to IMAX movies.
Yeah, Tim.
You can't buy the tickets ahead of time. The whole, like, one of the big things about going to the movies that I love now is, well, I have mixed feelings. I used to like to go and wait at midnight releases, and that was a whole blast, blah, 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 blah. But if you're not going to go wait at a movie at midnight, I don't want to show up 45 minutes before to get the right seat. So I buy my movies, you know, hours, days ahead of time on AMC's app or whoever's app, and I reserve my seats because most theaters now have reserved seats. And you can't do that with this. Well, that's a deal breaker for me. If they wanted to, because, all right, so this was started by an executive, one of the original executives of Netflix. I don't know if we mentioned that yet. So you gotta get where they're going with this. They think they can build a Netflix type thing for the film industry. Netflix has always had multiple different tiers. It started with, do you want to get 1 DVD a month? Do you want 2? Do you want 3? Do you want the streaming? Do you want streaming with multiple logins? So if it was $9.95 a month for everybody who wants exactly what you just described, fine. Let me pay $20 a month and let me buy them ahead of time. Let me buy 3D movies, whatever, or even restrict the 3D. I'd still do that as long as I could buy them ahead of time. Give me that option, then I might buy into it. But this is not convenient enough within my normal movie routine for me to say I won't end up going to movies and spending full price on them because of what I need to do to get a ticket for it, like opening night.
Actually, I'm on their app now, and it looks like I can choose tonight seats and everything. So screw you.
They have an app
this is
too.
Awesome.
Well, that's not what I read yesterday, though.
Yeah, but I'm on it now.
Then their website needs to be a little more clear on what all is included and how this functionally works.
He just switched what he was mad about.
To be fair,
one or the other, because clearly I was misinformed.
Their website was essentially shut down yesterday because as soon as this was announced, the entire internet went to their website.
Yes, because most people don't think through the process.
All right.
You should have just left it. Most people don't think.
Most people don't think.
But for someone like me that is on a nerdy podcast and now I have to pay every time I go, that's it's tempting to do it.
I'm old. I go to movies, I have weird days off, so I go to movies in the mornings most times when there's really nobody else stupid enough to go. So my wife and I can show up and still get the seats we want. Row C, seats 8 and 9, and it's fine.
Depends on the screen.
We're always in theater 6 for some reason. I don't understand it.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it does. This works for me. So I signed up for it without thinking about it. And even if I do it for a month and go once, I've more than made my money.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was really cool. And I figured anybody listening might be interested in something like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was my whole Gen X cynical side coming out right there.
Right.
It's cool. I get it. I'm chill. I'm like, hell yeah. Whenever I get to go see a movie in our time, I'm like, hell yeah. And Movie Pass, $10 for a month, and I could go see multiple movies. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not watching IMAX. I'm not watching 3D.
Nope.
I'm cool.
Nope. That's exactly
it's
it.
gonna go for the casual moviegoer. And how is this gonna be? I don't know. I guess they're gonna make all their money with concessions and all that, but like, how is this good for them? I guess not enough people were doing the Movie Pass to begin with.
Right. Well,
their idea is to make money off advertising eventually.
Targeting that advertising at you. They're going to sell your information. They're not being shy about that. They're looking to take your movie-going habits and use that as a metric for how to advertise to you and people like you.
Okay.
Yeah, the executive from Netflix, I can't remember his name. The interview he gave, they basically asked him, how are you going to make any money? And he said, this is kind of I think he said 8 to 12 month experiment, and essentially we'll be gathering mountains of data during that time, which then advertisers will be interested in, whether it's advertising directly on our app or website or however people are going to use that, or whether it's, selling the raw data itself. But they feel that there is enough market in the data that they've gathered that it will more than subsidize the extra movie money that it's paying out. So,
yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool. So we're going to go from slightly happy movie news to slightly sadder movie news that I did just want to touch on quickly, and that's the death of the stunt woman Joy Harris on the set of Deadpool 2 while doing a stunt on a motorcycle, apparently dressed as Domino. Yeah. I'm sad. Production shut down on this. Ryan Reynolds has been respectfully, tweeting out about family and love for this person.
Do you see... I mean, I don't know how to say it, but like, do you usually see like the movie star actually show compassion? And even though it's just like tweets or whatever, do you ever see that anywhere else? I thought that was really awesome of him, because using his large audience to kind of share with them.
I think it's a super classy move on his part.
Yeah, because like I don't think I've ever heard of, or maybe not recently, but I've never heard of like bigger movie stars with that sort of reach say anything about, a stunt woman, whatever. It's a person and they're working on your movie, but most people don't usually want to spend that sort of time to do something so little, but they do, have a huge reach where a lot of people can be impacted by that. So that was super cool on him, I think, to just kind of, hey, this is what's going on with our movie. This is what's going on with this person. And I'm, condolences to their family and all that stuff. And that was pretty good on you, Ryan Reynolds. Because that shows a lot, because he didn't have to. And all that stuff,
but he is a classy dude, and he's really hip to the social medias. So he's all over it. Speaking of superhero movies, Luc Besson was in the news recently because
his name is Luck.
Luck.
Yeah, it's Luc. That's Luck.
Luck. No, it's Luc Besson was in the news recently. What
language you're speaking, but that's Luck.
About he's all heard about the failure of his movie, the City of a Thousand Planets, at least here in the U.S. with its terrible box office, and he's all hurt that. Yeah, no one has. He's all hurt that superhero movies are so popular. So he came out and was talking about how stupid Captain America is, because it's just American propaganda and we buy into it. And apparently he's never heard of Black Panther or Captain Britain or any of the other Marvel heroes that are not Captain America.
Or Wonder Woman.
Yeah, well, exactly. But
that's just Themysciran propaganda. That's all that is.
Right? Oh.
Just propping them up as the greatest nation in the planet.
Yeah, you know what? If you maybe made better movies, you wouldn't feel this way, because people would go see your movies.
My name is Luck. Valerian was the best movie to come out this summer. Nobody saw it because they were so worried about the superheroes and the Americans. We hate hamburgers.
Tim, let's try to keep English. I don't understand French.
Yes. Foo-foo, fifi, la-fla-fla-na-na.
I mean, we're sorry if you're French. I mean, we said about we have a lot of people in Canada, French Canadian.
Yeah,
we make. I don't know if that's the same thing.
We make no apologies to any of you.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Don't get me wrong. In some ways, I do agree with him because there are some terrible superhero movies that are making a ton of money. So it's not that he's completely wrong. It's that he doesn't have to just blanket attack things because he's feeling like people are going to see those over his movie. Because apparently
Spider-Man beat him week 3.
Well, that's exactly it. But apparently news is coming out that the Justice League, when it was originally finished, was completely unwatchable. And that's a lot of the reason that they're having to do so many of these reshoots on everything. They're trying to make everything better. And that's the Joss Whedon, trying to wring a story out of what Zack Snyder had wrought.
Sure. I think, Kevin, you definitely called it whenever, I think we were discussing it on the San Diego Comic-Con episode where he's just like, yeah, everything's going fine. The reshoots are going fine and all that stuff. But now it's just like, yo, this was crap and I'm trying not to make it crap.
Yeah.
And I think you called it back then.
That's exactly it. You start coming out and telling me that everything's fine and everything's going well and all that and hyping it as much as he has been doing. And I start to wonder why you're doing that. Because obviously you're lying or you're hiding something or misdirecting me. And that seems to be exactly what has been happening. There's a lot of talk about them beefing up Wonder Woman. They've apparently changed Cyborg completely in these reshoots. So, yeah, there's that.
We saw that. Well, not reshoots or anything, but last episode when we talked about the Dark Tower, it took so long to, develop and so many different things happened. And this is like on a smaller scale in a sense, but bigger budget and all that stuff with Justice League. But I mean, I don't know. I'm as the days go by and the more news come out, I just kind of scared because I really have hope. I really want this to be a good movie because I really liked Wonder Woman and I really liked some other stuff, but it's like, come on, please just let it be good. But now with all the stuff that's coming out and some other news we're going to get into, it's, it's not looking good, I don't think. And I'm kind of sad.
I mean,
it's just American propaganda anyways. So
I want it to be great, but it's just not, it's not getting there. I just don't have high hopes for it. Even the trailers and the previews, which, Jesus, I feel like I've been watching them for a year and a half now. They just don't excite me anymore.
Listen, Captain Fishy Pants is going to be good. Don't worry about it.
That, what, maybe, because I do love Jason. I love me some Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
But, who doesn't like the prospects of the DCEU?
Oh, God.
And that's Ben Affleck, whose brother Casey recently casually announced on a radio show that Ben is not doing Batman.
Guys, guess what? This is a great moment for me. Can I tell you why?
Tell us why.
This is worlds colliding. All right, so we know a couple things about me, right? We know I do a nerdy podcast and I'm really into this stuff, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was the other major interest of my life? What did I want to do professionally in my youth?
Sports radio.
Be a football player.
Sports talk radio. Guess where this thing with Casey Affleck came on? It was Sports Talk Radio, and it was local Sports Talk Radio. It was WEEI radio afternoon show. This is the station that I wanted to work for. All right, this is in my wheelhouse. Let me give you a little context because I don't think that this has a lot of validity to it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Sure, go ahead.
WEEI does a 3-day now, I think, radio telethon for the Jimmy Fund. The Jimmy Fund is a great local organization here in Boston that raises money for cancer research alongside the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, one of the world's leading cancer research hospitals, which is located in Boston. Great cause. They raise millions of dollars every year. And one of the things that they do is during the day, they stop talking about sports and they have celebrity guests on, and a lot of local Boston people come on. Casey Affleck was a guest on Dale and Holly with Keefe yesterday. And really what they do is they fill 10 minutes. I mean, they spitball with these people. They try and have as friendly a conversation as they can while then saying, can you tell me a way that cancer's impacted your life or a time that you've spent, volunteering at the Jimmy Fund or stuff like that. And I think a lot of times they say stuff to fill the time that is just like meant to be, hey, let's have a conversation. I would not take this seriously for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Just throwing it out
I mean,
there.
I don't.
But still,
okay.
The casual way he mentioned it. Did you watch? You watched the video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he just got caught. Like, I feel like he said that and then was like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, and tried to cover for it and was like, oh, no, I was just making that up. I was just, because that's totally something anyone from Boston would say. Like, that's Casey Affleck is Boston. I'm watching that video and I'm just like, holy crap, this is everyone I know.
Yeah. I mean, well, from the city. I mean, yeah, he's like the Affleck and Damon. I mean, they are, East Boston. That's what they are. There's no question about that. I just think this is a guy spitballing, just trying to talk. And he said something, and he's like, oh, wait, crap, that could actually be like real news if I say this. And I have no idea whether Ben's continuing with this movie or not. It
wouldn't shock me if that was the case. Like, this has been the case from day one with this, is we hear a rumor that he's out, and then all of a sudden someone comes out and says he's in, and then he's out again, and then he's in.
And then he says he's in, yeah.
And it's like, this is so much back and forth. It's like a train stuck in a tunnel. Like, what are you doing here?
Building hype.
Oh, God. Well, the worst kind of hype. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, none of it's anything other than rumors. That's the thing. Like, he's never come out and said anything other than I'm in these movies. So, yeah. I mean, it's just rumors. And rumors happen about all kinds of stuff all the time.
And rumors build, like, suspicion and people want to hear more about it and get, click on Google about it and things like that. And that just builds more hype, and bad press is fine, I guess, so people talking about it.
Whether he's in or out, my favorite Batman story was from Neil Gaiman, and Neil Gaiman's Good Omens was recently picked up by Amazon, and they cast David Tennant and Michael Sheen as the main characters, Crowley, and I don't care enough to look up Michael Sheen's character's name. Do you guys know who Michael Sheen is?
Now that I'm looking at his face, he reminds me of
still
something
a no?
I've seen. I mean, that's still a no, yeah, but he looks
he's
familiar.
One of those people, he's been in everything, but I look at him and I'm like, I guess I recognize him, but I don't recognize any of the characters he's ever played.
He's the bartender in the Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence movie.
See, now I never saw that because I'm smart. Yeah. No, I avoided Passengers. Movie. I avoided it completely.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, for some reason, you told me something about that movie before I went to see it.
I did. I know every beat of that movie without having seen it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Trust me.
There was some interesting stuff.
It was actually a pretty good movie. Hey, guys, check out Passengers on like Redbox or something. It was all right.
That's a glowing review.
It's a ringing endorsement, right?
I'm excited. I love David Tennant. I really cannot wait, especially in something like Good Omens, to see him play the demon Crowley trying to stop the apocalypse. Would just be a phenomenal role for him. And
he's a phenomenal actor.
This seems to be a limited series, so it's not going to be like American Gods where it's just going to drag on and on and on. This will be an Amazon 1 hour episodes, couple of episodes type of thing. I can totally get behind that. I think that's going to be spectacular.
Hey guys, it's unpopular opinion time.
Uh-oh.
So David Tennant was Doctor Who, right?
That's correct.
He was the Doctor.
I'm not like big Doctor Who guy. Like, I don't know anything about Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Barty Crouch Jr. in Harry Potter.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my opinion on that momentarily.
Uh-oh.
But I always hear like all this hype around David Tennant. Oh, David Tennant. Can you tell me something he's been in that's been good? I mean, outside of Doctor Who, like what's he's been in that's been good?
Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yeah. He's done a lot of Broadway and stuff like that. If you look up YouTube videos of him like actually doing plays and things like that, it's phenomenal. But
Broadchurch.
Out of the 20 hours of Harry Potter that we were blessed with, some of the worst of it was David Tennant as Barty Crouch Jr. overacting, being a buffoon, that foolish facial tic, like, it was pretty awful. I'm gonna categorize it as pretty awful. Out of the 20 some odd hours or 20-ish hours of Harry Potter that we got on 8 films, it was some of the worst. So I know him as that. I know he's been in Doctor Who. I know everybody loves Doctor Who, but outside of that, guy hasn't really done anything. Yet every time his name comes up, it's like, oh, David Tennant, oh, David Tennant.
To be fair, he did spend a lot of years on Doctor Who. It was
Dude, there's a million people that do TV shows and do movies at the same time. That's not an excuse.
No, I'm saying that, like, a lot of people do say good things about him because he was on and he was the Doctor for a really long time. And that was when it first sort of started coming back and going into American audiences, sort of. So how many seasons did he do? He did like 5, I think.
Yeah, I think 4 it was 5
of like 20 or so episodes. And yeah, he just did a phenomenal job on that. I think that's, just some of his scenes and some of his key storylines are like, held very highly by everybody, and they've won some of his scenes and some of his episodes have won, substantial awards for storytelling and how everything went down. So yeah, I think definitely just Doctor Who. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't really a fan of him.
No.
Yeah,
Fright
really
Night too. Gotta go watch Fright Night if you haven't seen Fright Night.
Okay, well, I'll check that out. But Broadchurch as well, that came out. He's on that, and from what I heard, he was phenomenal on that. But no, yeah, I mean, he just hasn't done a whole lot.
David Tennant, way overhyped. I mean, Jonathan Galecki
he's in,
has been 10 years of playing great Leonard Hofstadter in Big Bang Theory.
No.
But we're not clamoring for Jonathan Galecki movies.
No.
Simon Hedberg has been brilliant as Howard Wolowitz, but we don't get, psyched about that.
No.
Let me come up with some other big name.
You got to watch the pilot episode of DuckTales that was released on YouTube. Disney put it out there for free.
I forgot about that.
He's Scrooge McDuck. Boom. Solved it. You're done.
Okay, voiceover acting. Okay,
Mic
cool.
drop. But yeah,
I don't know. Why don't all our fans tweet us? Why is David Tennant really good? And why do you love him so much? Other than Doctor Who, I can say, like, I'm trying to put myself in a box here and say other reasons why I would love him.
Idiots
as a person.
Hey,
what?
All of us are idiots. He is phenomenal as the Purple Man in Jessica Jones.
TV.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah.
So, what's your point?
Just saying. Listen, I have this feeling that in our sphere, this is going to be a much more unpopular opinion than my Beyonce take. Because apparently the Beehive doesn't listen to our show. So I'm ready
Tim,
for this. But
I love
just
how
don't
you're like,
see
oh,
anything.
he's terrible, but you won't watch Doctor Who. You're not going to watch anything else, and you just dismiss Jessica Jones, which he's coming back for season 2 of Jessica Jones somehow.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, everybody gets so hyped about him. And his credentials are Doctor Who and nothing.
He's a pretty good guy.
And the worst performance in all of Harry Potter.
Fine. So you have 10 minutes of performance in Harry Potter that you're going by and nothing else. Unpopular opinion? That's fine. You're allowed to keep it.
And I will keep it in my pocket.
That's fine. So yeah, Netflix bringing him back for next season of Jessica Jones. They are also in talks to keep Disney's shit. So they're looking to keep the movies that they have, like the Marvel and the Star Wars and the
How
all
are they
of
going
that.
to do that?
Well, they're looking at keeping. From what I read, Disney is going to be potentially keeping that deal separate from their stuff. So it'll be Disney movies and Disney shows and original content on their streaming service, and then they're going to have a bidding war for the other stuff between whoever wants it.
Oh God.
And here's the thing, like, this is just so much back and forth. It still could end up that they decide to keep it on the Disney streaming service. They're just at this point seeing how much money people are willing to pay.
Yeah,
because I loved how they phrased it. Like, Bob Iger's like, yeah, so, when this deal's done, that doesn't preclude Marvel movies and Star Wars movies from staying on Netflix or other streaming services. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Amazon, Hulu, hit up my DMs and tell me how much you're willing to pay.
Not as good as a wink to a blind bat.
So, I mean, and it very well could be that it's not enough money. Like, they think at $40 a month that I think they're going to charge for their service, that they'd make more money keeping them there. But they're basically saying, all right, how much you guys want to throw out there? Let's see. How bad do you want it? We have all the power. But then Netflix hit back, didn't they?
They did.
Boom. Netflix is like, you make TV shows on ABC, right? Who makes your biggest hits? Shonda Rhimes. Guess what? We make TV shows. We want the biggest hits. Boom, we hired her.
Yep. Shonda Land is now working for Netflix. So she's going to be making stuff for them from now on in a killer deal. I mean, think of the creative freedom they're going to give her, because this is the first of its kind for them. You know, last week they acquired Mark Millar's comic rights. Now they're getting original stuff that hasn't been thought of before. They're going to be a powerhouse.
Hey, we got the person that makes the worst hit TV shows on the planet. Let's see what she can do with us.
Oh God, that's
Grey's
another
Anatomy
opinion.
is a terrible TV show.
Listen,
Everybody
I'm not
loves
going to
it.
fight you on that, but I have also never watched it. So
It's awful. I really don't know anything about Scandal, but I'm assuming it's in the same vein.
They're all
Because
sort of modern soap operas.
yeah, people
you know?
watch stupid stuff. When
a
it comes
lot
to,
of
like,
people love
major
How to
network
Get Away
TV.
with Murder.
Yeah, they love that one.
Okay,
when
there
that
you go.
came out,
I guess
man.
that's a thing. But yeah, I still think it's like she does the the pandering kind of TV shows. So it'll be interesting to see if that's just what ABC had her do, or if she's
Probably
got
to
more
do a
to
ton
offer.
of episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix might bring out the best in her
Yeah,
creatively.
creative
Let's see.
freedom, lets that happen.
At
But
the very
it'll be
least,
good
they
for
stuck it to
streaming.
Disney.
I'm looking forward to streaming becoming more creative. Get away from cable, get away from the fact that you have these stations tied to cable and tied to TV, and just sort of let them do their own thing. The way that the same type of deal just happened with AMC's Walking Dead creator, what's his face, Kirkman there, Robert Kirkman. He's doing the same thing. But yeah, no, streaming is making strides in the right direction most of the time.
You know what's not streaming, Kevin?
The thing that's going in the other direction, Adult Swim with Rick and Morty.
I jumped your lane there. I cut you off.
I appreciate that. Hey, listen, I'm giving you guys softballs. I love it when you hit them. Yeah, this past week was the first time this season that AdultSwim.com was not streaming the new episode of Rick and Morty. So this was episode 4. They streamed the first 3 on their website at the time that it was airing. And this time they tweeted out that they weren't going to. And then they, quote unquote, trolled people by having a parody live action version of it.
That's
and
great.
Said something about, pirates, start your engines, because they get it, but they also screwed this up because you had to sign in with your account through your cable provider. But that was broken. And then there's no way to sign up to pay for these episodes unless you have cable. So it's just a step in the wrong direction from everywhere.
Yeah, and you can, if you follow me or whatever on Facebook, I post, people are posting them on Facebook anyways, the entire episodes, and that's fantastic, and I really like it. They do it with other shit, like actual movies. They put the entire movie on Facebook, but to see it being passed around, this new Rick and Morty episode, it's really interesting and super cool. Like, everybody knows that we want to watch it, and it's just like, hey, share this, whatever. It's the new episode 3 or whatever. And it's like, oh shit. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
I have no problem if you want to monetize your stuff, but you also have people who are going to want to watch this more than they're going to worry about doing something wrong. And that to me, that's the point that these content creators need to take from this, is that if you put artificial gates in between people and content, then they're going to take the easiest path. Like for me, I wanted to watch Chips this past week. And so I found it on Amazon and I spent $4 because I was sitting on the couch, and that's super easy. If I couldn't find it there, if it wasn't for sale, which I see all the time, what are my choices? I'm not going to go to Amazon and buy it, and then when it comes in a week, dig out my Blu-ray player from the closet where it's been for 3 years and find a way to connect it to my TV, even though the connections don't work, and put it in. It's not going to happen. And that's what they're doing with this.
About the Rick and Morty thing, like, can you buy the episode on iTunes or Amazon?
I don't know.
Because most TV shows nowadays you can.
Yeah.
So they do give you a way to buy it without cable. Because cable still is a moneymaker for a lot of these networks. Sure. I know cable's dying, and I know a lot of networks or companies or content creators are trying to come up with creative ways to avert cable, which I think is good. That's definitely what you should be doing. But a lot of cable networks, that their money still comes from Comcast, AT&T, all these other Charter, all of these other cable providers. They pay them money to host their network. And sometimes they put the pressure on them and say, hey guys, you're putting stuff out there that's in demand. And when the contract comes, we're not going to pay the big money if you're giving this stuff away for free. Like Comcast did that with, what is it, HGTV? I think it's HGTV, with Fixer Upper. Huge show. Chip and Joanna Gaines, Fixer Upper. And I was watching it for free on the app on Roku. And then one day, it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Only on Comcast, because Comcast turned the screws on them and said, hey guys, this is your biggest show. Like, without that property, we don't want our relationship with you. It's not valuable to us anymore, So they do have to protect their money to some degree. And if there's a way to get it, like you talked about renting the movie on Amazon, if you can buy it on iTunes, if it's not like there's no other way,
it's at least on Google Play. For the season pass is $14.99. I
don't have
super
a
easy.
Huge problem with it. I wish that wasn't the case, and I hope that these companies are trying to seek other revenue streams so they don't have to, cater to the cable companies and to their wishes and desires. But I do get why they do something like this.
Oh, I totally get it. I just think that they kind of went about it a little bit wrong and should have, I don't know, like made it more clear that they weren't doing this, because I think the most of the outrage was just that people expected it to be streaming because they had been streaming. There, yeah. And then they get there and they feel like they were trolled because there was a stream, but it wasn't that.
Yeah.
That I think is kind of, I think they thought it was funny when Adult Swim thought it was funny when they were doing it. I think it's kind of weird and kind of out of, kind of in character, but kind of out of what it should be.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say it's like on brand with them because of like the shows that they do say yes to, and that whole, even staying with the Rick and Morty lane, they did that whole April Fool's thing when they're like, hey, this is a live stream or whatever. This isn't the new episode or whatever. But
no, but a lot of big companies, they kind of lose their focus too. Like there was another brand recently, Blizzard. Blizzard rebranded Battle.net. Battle.net's been around for 20 years now, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they just decided they were going to call it BlizzardFight.com, or I forget what they named it to. But they got away from Battle.net, and they've decided that all of their fans, and I mean all of their fans, yelling and crying about this, were apparently in the right, and they've changed it back to BlizzardBattle.net.
What?
I don't understand why.
Just
everybody knows it. Just leave it as Battle.net. You don't have to rebrand every couple of years just to stay fresh.
And that's a super good name to get the first battle dot whatever. That's crazy. But sure, let's do it. Let's get more
super
people.
Nuts.
They're losing people. They're losing people on their stuff. I mean, they got to do something, I guess.
You know what? This is controversy. Maybe this will bring people back. Who knows?
The name change.
Yeah, the name change.
That's what it was.
There you go.
I can't get myself to go to type in battle.net. I feel like such a little kid.
I should go back to World of Warcraft now that I've heard about this.
Kevin, don't do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. Don't worry about it.
We saved another one, guys.
Saving lives.
All in a day's work.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, if only Jules, saving people,
yes.
Tom Cruise can't even save himself.
No, if only Jules had been there to save him. Did you watch the video of him jumping from building to building?
Why was he doing this?
He was doing this because he does his own stunts because he's a fucking moron. So he was jumping from scaffolding to a building to make it look like he actually jumped from building to building.
Yeah.
And if you watch this video, I'm not a stuntman. I'm not even that athletic. But god damn if his foot wasn't like 18 inches back from the edge when he jumped. I mean, you're jumping to the next building, buddy. You need every leg up you can get. And apparently he didn't keep his leg far enough up because he slammed it into that building and was limping away.
Jesus.
I will say this for Tom Cruise. I feel bad for the poor guy. He got hurt. If I were him, I would probably be the dude that would do my own stunts too.
Sure.
Because
you're also an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, like, all right, well, let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, A, because I'm an idiot. B, because I was an athletic person, and if I was in movies, I would still be in shape. And Tom Cruise,
hey,
you can...
round is a shape.
Yes, I know. We've gone over this. It's a lovely, wonderful, spectacular shape. Tom Cruise is an athletic person too. Like, you can tell. One of my biggest pet peeves in movies is when actors are running and you can, like, they're supposed to be running away from something and you can tell they are so slow. Like,
but the camera tricks make it seem like it's super fast.
Well, sometimes they can't even pull that off. Like, what's her name? That was in the Transformers movie.
Megan Fox?
Megan Fox. Oh my gosh. That woman looks like she's on a treadmill when she runs. Like, watch the scenes from her in Transformers. Her arms are flailing. Her legs are doing all the right things, but she is making no forward progress. It is the worst. I actually laughed in the theater when I saw her running in this giant, like, pan shot. Because Shia LaBeouf's a pretty fast dude. So, I mean, he's like, you could tell he's like doing half strides to try and like compensate for the fact that she's just not going anywhere. But Tom Cruise, like, one of his hallmarks is you go back to, what is it, The Firm? I mean, he's got a briefcase and he is flying down the street. You could tell that dude is moving, you know? But I think when you're Tom Cruise and you're at this level of your life, there are a few things that remain interesting to you. I mean, you've had everything you've ever wanted. You were good looking, you were rich, you were a great actor, you're all of these things. So you need things to, like, you know, keep life fresh. So I would probably be jumping from buildings if I were him too, because what else is there in life, you know, to push my limits, so to speak. So I don't kind of blame him for this, but boom, that's.
But it's not just his job on the line. This is there was something about Danny Trejo a while ago, quote from him talking about how he doesn't have to do his own stunts to prove that he's manly. He's manly. I think this is Tom Cruise trying to prove that he's manly.
Yeah, I think that's totally a part of it too. 100%. Won't argue with that.
You know, and he gets hurt and everything has to stop. I mean, he could have been killed if the rope had failed. Like, I mean, they take every precaution they can, but I mean, we've seen that shit happens.
Yeah. And, well, we saw it. We talked about it earlier. You know, a stunt job is a dangerous job, you know? So, yeah, maybe he's taking someone's work, but maybe he's saving somebody else from injury, too. I mean, who knows? But I see why he does it. I get it. Like, if I were in his shoes, I'd be that idiot, too. I probably would have made the jump, though, Tom.
Yeah, speaking of stunts and doing your own stunts, apparently Vin Diesel is going to star in a Fast and the Furious live show that's going to tour the world. I, as much as I hate Tom Cruise for doing it, I kind of want to see Vin Diesel do this.
Because you want Vin Diesel to get hurt?
Maybe, you know. No, I don't. Because, I mean, especially with cars around, that could be a terrible, terrible thing. R.I.P. Paul Walker. But I do kind of like the fact that he's just going to be acting and doing... I'm sure it's not going to be like super stunts, although he did come out and say they're going to do something no one has ever seen before. But I'm sure it's going to be, you know, like the Disney, Indiana Jones stunt spectacular type
That's
stunts.
That's exactly what came to my mind.
You know, like driving around and then there's
Fast and the Furious Fantastic Stunt Spectacular.
Yeah, there's like a cannon that shoots a bunch of confetti, and then he drives into a cardboard box that like it looks like a building.
This is Vin Diesel Knievel right here. I'm gonna like jump 6 cars, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Except, you know, he's going to drive behind something and then another car that like you can tell is a different car than the one he was in because it's got all rust patches. And suddenly it's not Vin Diesel, but a guy wearing a helmet comes around and drives off the stage somewhere. And then you see a big explosion. I think that's exactly what we're going to find.
I'm in.
And then off in the corner of the arena is going to be The Rock lifting 7,000-pound weights.
Yep.
This is my stunt. Look at me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he just gonna do it by himself, or is he gonna bring some of the cast?
No, there's gonna be Vin Diesel in cars over here doing like what everybody's watching, and then off in the corner of the arena, a giant free weight set is just gonna be The Rock just lifting. Look at me.
It's not part of the show. It just happens to be near where The Rock works out.
And I'll definitely still watch The Rock work out.
Right.
I'm definitely cool with that.
Oh yeah,
dude, I watch Instagram videos of The Rock working out all the time because it amazes me.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you going to watch the Terminator 2 3D conversion that's coming out soon?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course.
I'm not going to see it in 3D.
Kevin,
I just don't care. I don't care.
I'm dragging you there. I'm going to drug you, put you in my car, and like carry you in and put you in a seat.
I'm going to need a mohawk and a bunch of gold chains if you do that. I'm going to start saying I pity the fool. No, seriously, this is an open letter to James Cameron. Stop. I don't care about any of your stuff. Stop it. Just stop it. I don't care about upconverting that.
Sheesh.
I don't care about your plans to upconvert Alien if that works. I just don't care.
You wait until both of those movies make $100 million.
Oh my God, I'm going to die if that happens.
It'll re-release. You wait.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure it's going to, yeah.
We are stupid. As a species, humans are stupid. We throw money at stupid things. We keep trying stupid things, and they keep failing, and we keep trying them.
You have it backwards. We are not stupid. James Cameron is a genius.
Yes, in the land of stupidity, the less stupid man is king. You're right. No, but I mean, they just keep trying, and my heart hurts. It's like the Terminator things. The last 2 movies from Terminator have both been trilogy starters, and neither of them have started trilogies because they're rebooting it again with Terminator 6, and Arnold is back. And I'm shaking, like I'm literally shaking here because I'm so angry by this because there's no reason for any of it. If you want to reboot Terminator, great, I'm in. We've talked about this on the podcast before. Find a new threat, make it believable, give me anyone other than that old-ass Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm fine with it.
I want Arnold Schwarzenegger to be back, though, just because I want Conan to keep doing his impression of him, and I want Tina Fey to keep doing her impression of him. One of my favorite things back in Tina Fey's early years on Weekend Update was when Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California, and she used to do her Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. It was so good. I am the governor of California. We will be the #1 action state in America. We have mudslides. We have tornadoes. We have earthquakes. We are #1 in action in all of the country. It was such a bad accent. It was just that. It was so bad. It didn't even matter because it was Tina Fey doing it, and the premise was just awesome.
That's pretty funny.
Loved it.
But I want something new. I want something different. I want something we haven't seen before. I want, like,
Aliens in 3D.
That's not new. Like, I want something new, or I want something that's been done terribly done better, which is why I really kind of want to see this Tom Hardy Venom movie that they're working on.
I'm pretty hyped about that. I
don't want to get too hyped about it, but I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, for sure. And Venom's just a super cool character in general, and it's just like, please, this is going to be great, I hope, and just do it. Yes.
Venom is by far one of my favorite characters in the comics, in the Spider-Man comics, in any comics, really. And I'm enjoying the Edge of Venomverse that just started. Super cool stories, good artwork, love this stuff. And they just cast Riz Ahmed, or they're in talks with him for the Venom movie for Sony. And I don't know exactly who he'd be playing. I'm really hoping Carnage, but I think that could be cool. For anybody that doesn't know, he played Bodhi, the Imperial pilot on Rogue One, and he's apparently also a rapper, and he's in, was it The Night Of? And he's one of those people that he's now everywhere. So good on him.
Good on him. Don't care about Venom. I would hope that maybe Venom would kill Spider-Man. Then we could be done with Spider-Man too. I'm just like, I'm done with Spider-Man.
Isn't Venom like didn't at one point, was he in the Avengers or something like that? Or something like the Avengers?
Well, Venom was, so in the comics, they had the Matt Gargan as Scorpion, as Venom in the Venom suit, pretending to be Spider-Man on the Dark Avengers team, where they had all these people that were like weird, pretending to be superheroes. Like Norman Osborn was the Iron Patriot, and they had Wolverine's son, Daken, as Wolverine, and just all these, like, they were trying to build their own, we look like the Avengers, you think we're the Avengers, but we're really the bad guys doing all this bad shit type of thing, and it was kind of cool.
So that might be a thing. I'm totally cool. with that. If he wants to join the Avengers, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, but what?
I doubt it's going to happen, but...
Tim,
this is
you'd
gonna be
rather
in
just see
phase 7.
sequel after sequel after sequel? Is that what you'd rather see?
No, I'd rather just not see Spider-Man anymore.
So, okay. But what about Bad Boys 3? Are you looking forward to...
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Bad Boys 3? Yeah. Bad Boys for life. Because
bad boys.
bad news about
do?
Bad Boys.
What you gonna do when it comes
They have taken it off their release schedule.
No shock.
Oh, yeah. No, they took it off completely. Which I don't care either way about.
Yeah, not a fan.
It's been too long. Just let it go.
Too long. It's kind of like that.
I didn't really. We're gonna get this in the main topic, but I didn't realize that Bad Boys was actually Will Smith's first big movie gig. I thought it was Independence Day, but Bad Boys came out first.
Really? It wasn't Wild Wild West?
No.
That's a great... Oh, okay. Anyways.
Wild Wild West came out way after. Dude, where are you? Did you even do any prep for this week's episode?
Yes. Mike Lowry.
Before we get into the main topic, I just wanted to say that the new... I don't know why since I did like our Sonic Patreon, my Sonic Patreon talk or whatever, going through all the Sonics and stuff, Sonic has been popping up on my feed more and more. And I think that's just advertising that stole my information that I talked about it. But
cover your TV screens, cover your mics. Right? They can hear everything.
But Sonic Mania came out, the new Sonic game, and it's not shit, guys. That's something to be happy about. Sonic Mania, everybody is saying that, hey, this is a good Sonic game. It kind of takes some old elements, and some people are even saying that it's the best Sonic ever.
It's the 16-bit Sonic, right? Like this is the one that's like throwback to the Genesis games.
It's a throwback, and then they have some new elements as well. And,
yeah,
and some
it's kind of like
stuff,
their version of the new Super Mario games.
Yeah,
yeah,
and people are giving it great reviews. It's like it's roughly about the 80%, which is still not that great, but for Sonic, from the reviews that they had, it's been, really dismal and shitty this whole time, but it's all been above 80%. There's hardly any bad reviews. The only review is that there could be more new stuff, but really like more newer elements to the game, but a lot of people are saying this is a fantastic Sonic game. So there's hope for Sonic.
It's a low-key big year for Sonic because you've got this one, and then I think just in a few months, we've got the next 3D iteration of Sonic. So, low-key, kind of, it's a big year for Sonic.
Yeah, and then there's going to be I don't know why I just got super into Sonic this like past couple of weeks, and they have this cartoon that's coming out, and it's going to be super cute or whatever.
Nice.
Sonic news with
nice.
We're being polite, Jules.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, what's going to happen is all of this is getting cut.
Nice.
That's the only gaming news that I found interesting at all. There ain't shit going on in gaming. So
fantastic.
Until like what? Are we 10 days away? Less than 10 days away, Kevin, from Rabbids?
I am so excited. My pre-order is getting ready to ship.
Woo!
That is exciting to me. I am beside myself. I was playing Mario Kart last night with Jenny, and we were lamenting the fact that we do not yet have Rabbids. So yeah, I think that's it for the nerdy news, and that's going to bring us to the main topic, which if you haven't guessed already is Will Smith. Because anyone actually listening to this has actually read the title, I'm sure. So they know it's Will Smith.
Mm-hmm. Wait, right here on his IMDb, it says he's going to be on Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, no, they're not happening.
So, I don't know.
So that brings us to the main topic.
Huge topic.
Huge topic.
Hey guys, you remember when Will Smith was a rapper?
Hey, I do remember when Will Smith was a rapper.
A rapper in my heart.
There's like people though now that just don't even know that Will Smith was a rapper.
Yeah, I find that amazing.
Like, hey, look, Will Smith's kids are making music. I wonder how they got into the music business. Their dad was
That's horrible.
a rapper. But you know what I didn't realize? Because I did a little prep for this episode. Because why not? Sometimes I like to put some effort in. I didn't realize kind of how quick his ascension was. Like, he and Jazzy Jeff got together in like 85 and started, doing the scene in Philly. But their first album came out in 86. And that was the one that had... Parents Just Don't Understand on it, I think.
Oh, man. That club banger. Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I can't remember whether... I'm going to get these backwards. But, they won their first Grammy in 89. So, like, just, 3 or 4 years after they started. But then, boom, like, the Fresh Prince started in 90. Like, he won a Grammy...
One year later.
Like, all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, we need to put this guy on TV immediately. Like, Summertime, which was his biggest hit...
Oh,
he and Jazzy Jeff's biggest hit came out in 91, like after the Fresh Prince. I mean, I was a kid when all this was going on, so my impression was that he had like a substantial rap career, like Summertime, that stuff came out before he got the Fresh Prince gig, but no, like they saw him and they're like, whoa, we need to put this guy on TV now, like immediately. It happened real quick.
Because he was super PG.
Well,
yeah, he was.
You know the story behind
tame.
that, right? You know the story behind him and being a PG rapper?
No. Okay. Tell me.
No.
So I like this. I mean, this is one of those things that I kind of enjoy. I mean, I don't think you have to be hard to be a good rapper. I mean, it's about the art. It's not necessarily about... Not everybody's going to be a freaking banger like Ice Cube was. You know what I mean? We're not all going to have killed people. So that's fine. You don't have to be able to have killed people to be a rapper. But he thought he had to be hard to be a rapper. And, he wasn't like a privileged kid growing up, but he wasn't a gang member, and he, it wasn't like he was living in the slums. So, but he's out there rapping, F this, F that, trying to be, a gangbanger, because that's what was popular at the time. And his grandma found his rap notebook. He wrote down all his lyrics. And she said to him, Will, this is not you. You don't need to be this kind of guy. And as a, honor to his grandmother, he stopped using profanity in his lyrics. And look what happened. Boom. Became a mega superstar.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a cigar in his mouth just for the look. He don't light it.
That's right.
God. I still think Will Smith's music, well, it's not my style anymore, but it's like, okay, like I appreciate what he did. Some of it's pretty clever. And I mean, for a time there in the late 80s and 90s and some of 2000s, a lot of people really loved it. And
man, catchy hip-hop,
super catchy
stuff.
But I mean, he had the benefit of it. He was doing songs that were the main song, or at least the promotional song for the movies he was in, with Men in Black, Wild Wild West. Like really, like this was what he was doing. I kind of miss that. Like, I kind of want to hear him do a song for a movie he's in now.
Yeah, I don't think anybody takes him seriously in that fashion anymore, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
And I don't blame him, because it wasn't great, but it's still something I'd look back on and go, he's doing the thing!
Yeah, at the time, it was like, oh, cool. And then the music video was super themed towards whatever movie it was. And it's like, oh, that's so cool. And he's singing, he's rapping, whatever. And it's like, oh.
It was cool for the day, But going back to the beginning... Like I said, I knew I had it wrong, but the first album, the big one, was Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble. And Rock the House. I don't know if you guys know Rock the House. That was more of a smaller hit, but I like the fact that he had this big hit, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble. Hey, this guy's sexist, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. On that same album, he had a song that said, Guys Ain't Nothing But Trouble. That dude, he was progressive before it was cool to be progressive, man. He's like, I know girls are trouble, but guess what? We're not any good either. So,
oh boy.
So good for him and DJ Jazzy Jeff. I love DJ Jazzy Jeff, man.
Yeah, he's super great.
He was actually like, people like back when this was a thing, being the DJ scratching the records, he was actually good. Like, between the two of them,
so good.
No, seriously, like, all right, Jules, you don't, like, this was a thing. Scratching the records
I didn't
was
say
a
that.
Thing.
I didn't say that sarcastically. I know. I've seen YouTube videos of him doing that stuff, and I was like, yeah, so good. He's so good.
At a time when this was, like, a thing, he was actually known as being really good at it. So, between the two of them, in their musical, genre, I'm putting big air quotes here, because it's a very specific time and place, he was probably actually the more talented dude when it came to that kind of stuff. He was legit when it came to the turntables.
Yeah, I guess moving on to the music stuff. Yeah,
fell off the face of the earth.
He probably just DJs. You know, he probably still goes around and DJs.
Yeah, he does some stuff, but you can't unfortunately make a career just being the record scratcher. So you kind of need your dude, your front man. So you know, and they maintain that they're still friends, that they didn't break up, so to speak. I mean, he still did that stuff on the Will Smith albums, even though it wasn't Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult to go out there and make an album when you're the DJ. So.
Oh, you mean he's not Fresh Prince anymore after his Will 2K album dropped in 99?
Yeah, he rebranded, man.
My God. I'm just looking through his IMDb page here, and it's like, I really wish we had a song for Enemy of the State, because we got one for the next movie, Wild Wild West, and I just wonder what that would look like. Or Bagger Vance.
The Bagger Vance one would have been great.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty consistent with movies and even a TV show all the way up until about 2008 when he did Hancock and 7 Pounds. And then that was, because that would have been movies that he shot a little earlier. That was when it was introduced to Scientology.
So there's a whole thing about Scientology, and I don't know if we want to get into this now or just spend some time on his acting career, which was legit. But there's a whole thing about Scientology. We can get into that later, I guess.
I want to get into a little bit of it, at least.
Okay, but yeah, Wild West, though. Nothing
from 2008 to 2012 from him.
No, I didn't realize that. He went 4 years without making a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of shocked about, because that is when he joined Scientology, and then he did Men in Black 3, which was a sequel that they brought him back for, so it was something he didn't necessarily seek out. They sought him. It was After Earth, which was arguably a Scientology film. And then he had a bit part in Anchorman, and looks like a bit part in Winter's Tale. And then by that time, 2015, he's getting out of Scientology.
Supposedly he was never in it.
He was. You don't pay $70,000 to a Scientology school when you're not a Scientologist.
He's buddies with Will Smith. Yeah, he's Will Smith. He's buddies with Tom Cruise. Like, that he has admitted, but their friendship predated that whole Scientology thing. Like, they've been friends since the 90s. So if he gave money to the school, it is possible that he gave money to the school, because he was at a charity event, ball, gala that Tom Cruise was organizing for Scientology, It's very possible.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. It's entirely possible. It's 100% possible.
But very
This
unlikely.
is my I totally believe you voice.
I know it well, Kevin.
The Justice League is going to be great. We don't need that many reshoots.
But the guy does have acting chops, and it's crazy that this happened to him, because he was a musician, he was a rapper, and that was his intention. And then somebody brought him into acting. But even in The Fresh Prince, I know, Kevin, you probably watched The Fresh Prince, right? I mean,
yeah, of course I did.
It was your thing, like it was my thing, it was everybody's thing who's our age. Jules, were you a Fresh Prince fan? Was that your?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it later than everybody else.
It was always the goofball and stuff, but there was always those few episodes where it got serious. And I think everybody remembers that one episode where it's just he and Uncle Will, and Uncle Phil, and Uncle Phil's like, they're talking about his dad and stuff like that, and he's like, I'm your father, or I'm there for you. You don't need that guy, and they did that in one take. Will cried, like legit cried, and so did everybody else in the room, apparently. And it was at that point that I think everywhere I realized, where did this come from? Like, how did we luck upon this guy who's just a goofy rapper, and he can do this? Like, how did this happen? It's crazy.
And you can definitely say that there was some amazing characters and amazing actors and actresses in The Fresh Prince, but you can definitely say that he carried that show. Like, that was his show. I mean, it's his show in the name, but like this wouldn't be the same if it was somebody else. It wouldn't be the same without him or anything like that. So this was his show.
No, he's totally always been a dynamic personality and he was a dynamic character, and that can carry a sitcom. But when he started to show that he had the acting chops, that's when they wanted to put him, in movies, and started pretty early. I mean, Bad Boys in '95.
Bad Boys, yeah, while he was still doing Fresh Prince.
Yep, and then Independence Day. I mean, that was huge.
That was a fantastic movie too.
It was
I remember seeing that in the theaters, and that was just powerful.
Yeah,
that relaunched the summer blockbuster thing. I mean,
yes.
That movie was just, the hype was enormous. Like, I went with my parents to see that, like, opening day. And my parents didn't go to the movies all the time. But they're like, this Independence Day movie is supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be like the big thing. We should go see it. And sure enough, I mean, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was 16 at the time. I was on vacation with my family at the time that it came out. And we went to a movie theater, which was a treat for us. And I think at the time, actually, it was empty when we were running around. But it was such a, like, I still jump thinking about that scene where the alien is in the glass cage of emotion and just slams up against the front of it.
Oh, yeah.
And that jump scare was just on the big screen with a big sound system. That was great. Like that really was powerful. And watching Will Smith in this made me happy.
And Bill
I loved him. I thought he was a great actor.
Speech, rallying the troops. I mean, that movie had a lot going for it. It was pretty cool in his day.
I mean,
really cool.
Whether you like Bad Boys or not, I mean, it was a substantial movie for a lot of people, the original one. But 95, 96, 97, Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black.
Yeah,
as some of your first movies.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Being a leading person in those movies, and now they're iconic as some of the best sci-fi films, or the iconic sci-fi films, I guess. But having those three movies in a row each year, man, that's ridiculous.
And then his follow-up to that was Enemy of the State, which obviously wasn't the box office success that those movies were, but Enemy of the State was on the down low, a really good movie. That was
that's one of the few I own on DVD.
Yeah, isn't that movie so good?
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, that was a time where we didn't really have this technology yet. Like, it was on the brink. Like, now everything's about, they're spying on us, blah, 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 blah. But this was when it was really introducing us to this concept. One of the movies that introduced us to this concept of they can see you from anywhere. And he played the action star, but it was a little grittier than what he had done. And you had him opposite real actors. Gene Hackman is a tremendous actor. Jon Voight, tremendous actor. And he held his own, against these guys that were seasoned, serious movie actors.
Yeah.
So are we going to talk about Wild Wild West? Because I want to hear what y'all think about it.
Wicked Wild Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider. No, you don't want none of this. Six gun in this. Brother running this. Buffalo Soul. Anyways.
All right. Well, I think I know y'all's take.
Sophomore year, what?
That's pretty clear. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yes, it's fantastic. It's great.
Wild Wild West was it was so, I think, untrue to the original and just so weird and wacky and made no sense at all.
No.
But I think it knew that and just leaned into that full force. Where else are you going to find a giant steam-powered brass and wood mechanical spider?
But people hated it.
Yeah.
Why,
people
though?
hated it.
Yeah.
That is one of the other movies I own on DVD. There's like 30 movies. That is one of them. Enemy of the State is the other. There's 28 mysteries that I'm not going to tell you about yet.
We'll reveal those as time goes on.
Yeah. Just keep listening.
Men in Black. Bad Boys. Men in Black 2. Bad Boys 2.
But yeah, I mean, I think this was Will Smith overexposure. I think that's what this movie suffered from. People love to build him up, and then they love to knock him down. It's like, hey, look at Will Smith. He did 3 really cool movies in a row, and they were box office successes. And, now it's like, oh, he's rapping again. This stuff's lame. That movie sucks. And I don't think it was great. But it was a fun movie for what it was, to your point, Kevin. And I think it was just Will Smith overload.
Yeah.
Because that was another one with talented actors. Kevin Kline, very good actor. Kenneth Branagh, brilliant filmmaker, actor. It had some good people in it. But yeah, the public did not respond.
No, I think it was one of those movies that really could have done with a second revision or maybe even a first revision. But yeah, no, the visuals were pretty cool. The story wasn't great, but it was fine for what it was. Like, it wasn't it was outlandish, but it wasn't contradictory to itself. So I'm fine with that. Like, anything that knows what it does and does it well, more power to you.
The reshoots back then, this was when they used to cost money, so they didn't do them as often. If that movie came out now, they'd probably do 3 reshoots and it would have been great.
Right. No, that's exactly it. Like, they would have gone through each scene and just said, you know what? I just didn't feel this. Let's start it over.
But that was the beginning, I think, of when people started to want to turn on Will Smith, because it went like, oh, too much Will Smith. We don't want to see him in a goofy action movie. To then he did The Legend of Bagger Vance and Ali, which were critically acclaimed. But I think people are like, oh, now he wants to take himself seriously. Look, he wants to win an Oscar. Look at him trying to win an Oscar, which he should have.
Yeah, and a lot of people do that a lot of the time whenever they try and see somebody differently as an actor or as a musician, or whenever somebody's, changes roles from what you think they need to be. It's like, no, Will Smith's the wacky, weird guy. I want my Fresh Prince back. What is he doing trying to be Ali in this movie? I'm not going to go see it. So I know a lot of people condemn actors and actresses sometimes, or musicians sometimes, whenever they try and switch roles or try and change up what they're doing. But really, it's like there's a lot to you. There's a lot to a person. He can do these serious roles too. I mean, he doesn't have to stay super niche, So
no, I mean, if you're a good actor, you can jump all over the place.
And I don't think people were ready for that.
Yeah.
They were not. So we went back to his bread and butter, and he did Men in Black 2, and he did Bad Boys 2.
Mm-hmm.
No, one after another.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Like, sure, let's do it.
Were either
Men in
of
Black
those
2 isn't that bad.
Yeah, actually. I really enjoy the Men in Black series. I really enjoy the Bad Boys series.
Even the third one?
The Men in Black? Yeah.
Okay.
They're silly. They're wacky, but
they're pretty silly.
I like them.
Yeah. Okay.
Josh Brolin was great in the third Men in Black. I love Jermaine Clement, and he was the bad guy in that. So yeah, I got to give it some props for that.
It's funny because I couldn't even remember the Men in Black 3. Like, I was looking over his IMDb earlier today, and I said, they did a Men in Black 3? Like, that happened? Did I see it? And I turned to my wife, I'm like, did you see Men in Black 3? She's like, I don't know. And then I looked at the cast list. I'm like, oh, that's when James Brolin plays young Tommy Lee Jones, which was cool. Like, he did a good job. But I remember nothing else about that movie, which tells me that I really didn't care about it.
Josh Brolin.
I think it's...
Did I say Josh Brolin?
You said James Brolin.
Yeah, not James Brolin. He wouldn't have done a good job playing a young.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah.
I would love to see it, but it would have been terrible.
It would have been bad CG.
To me, I think it's kind of like the third Back to the Future movie, where it's just like, okay, it's good, but it's really different. So that's kind of how I felt the third Men in Black movie was like. It's like it's good, but it's like pretty different than the other two, and it's like, I don't know.
That's a good analogy.
Thanks. Yeah, I can't believe that Men in Black 3 was 5 years ago.
Right?
Really?
I'm so old now. Like, I feel like that was just last year.
I can't believe Hitch was 12 years ago. Terrible movie, by the way.
That.
Yeah.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, terrible movie.
Awful movie.
Well, it had Kevin James in it. So
wait,
yeah.
we gotta go back. iRobot, 2004.
iRobot.
Fantastic movie.
So I thought that was a movie. I thought that was just a commercial for the Roomba by iRobot.
So did I. Yeah, I liked that one.
Yeah.
I liked that one a lot, but I don't remember. Did that do well in the box office?
I don't think so. I get those two mixed. I get I Am Legend and iRobot mixed up.
I know I Am Legend did not do well at the box office at all.
Yeah.
No, iRobot killed it. Back then, it did 347 million, which is huge.
Yeah.
Now. So he was still crushing it in 2004. People were still, going to see. They were back on board again. They were back on board.
And
seeing Will Smith movies.
He did Shark Tale in 2004 as well. He was the voice of Oscar, I think. And I mean, he did some. I don't know. Shark Tale was not for me. So.
Oh yeah. No, I never watched Shark Tale. But I managed to avoid that. I did like The Pursuit of Happiness in 2006.
Yeah. So
but that was a weird,
Hitch,
solemn movie.
Hitch crushed it too, by the way. Hitch did like $400 million.
Jeez.
That's a terrible movie, but that crushed it.
I saw that, sadly.
But yeah, from 2005 or 2004 through 2008, he just went on another movie run. So Hitch, we already talked about the 2004 movies, and then Hitch in 2005, Pursuit of Happiness 2006, which was pretty good. I Am Legend, I really liked that one. But like you said, it didn't really do well, just because I don't think a lot of people knew what it was about.
So with I Am Legend, and this wouldn't have necessarily meant that the first weekend wouldn't have done any better, but the story didn't make sense, and they changed it completely from the book. Which, all right, we're going to go back a little bit. So Will Smith was approached to do The Matrix instead of Keanu Reeves. And he turned that down to do Wild Wild West.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. No. Believe me, I like The Matrix 1 better. I hate the others. But then I think I would have if Will Smith had been in it, and I liked Wild Wild West. So I think things worked out the way they should have. But
Keanu
I feel
Reeves in Wild Wild West.
I would have watched that too.
Spoiler alert, I'll watch Keanu Reeves in most things. I'm a closet Keanu Reeves fan. Just throwing that out.
That'll be the next.
I can't wait for the next Bill and
episode.
Ted. Oh, okay. It's going to be great.
I know, right?
3. And this is a tenuous connection at best, but with I Am Legend, the ending, they changed it so much, just like they did in The Matrix, where they were talking about, in the original story for The Matrix, humanity was being used because their brains were better computers than the computers the machines had. And in I Am Legend, they changed the whole meaning of the ending of the movie and the way that these interacted with them. And instead of coming to peace with them, he winds up dying and killing them. And it was just this weird, nonsensical ending that I didn't enjoy at all.
But the whole journey before the last 20 minutes, is pretty good. I really enjoyed that.
I kind of dug it. I'm with you, Jules. I kind of dug it, and I was surprised that it didn't do better in the box office, considering what he had just done, what he was coming off of.
Mm-hmm. And then right after that, Hancock. I don't know if y'all have any opinions on that one. That was okay for me.
It was okay. It was another one where the story was just a what the fuck story.
Right.
Like, why does any of this exist? Why are you super powered, but only when you're not near the superpowered other person that was made specifically for you?
Nope, doesn't make sense.
And bullshit.
It existed because Will Smith and Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
That's why it existed, because they were, conceivably box office stars at the time, and they wanted to put them in a movie together. But this was kind of the beginning.
I thought Jason Bateman was great in that.
Right. It wasn't a terrible movie, but this was kind of this is where things went south for Will Smith, and it hasn't recovered yet.
No, not yet.
Because I Am Legend didn't do great, and conceivably it should have. Hancock was very lukewarm, and then when 7 Pounds came around, it was again people like, he is so desperate to win an award.
I still haven't seen 7 Pounds. I don't care to.
Me neither. I heard it was just too sad, whatever. And then he doesn't do anything, 4 years. Either he chose not to, or nobody would give him a role, or he was involved in Scientology. I don't know.
Well, yeah, whatever it was. You had a 4-year hiatus from him. He comes back for Men in Black 3, which we already talked a little bit about, was fine. I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was as well received as people expected it would be. And then he jumps into After Earth. Which, again, I haven't seen, but I also have read everything about, and I don't care to waste my time seeing it, because it's weird.
It's with his son.
Yeah, and that's also the other reason I'm never going to see it.
We're not going to talk about...
Was horrible.
Okay.
Focus, not good. Didn't do well.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in Focus. I forgot Focus was even a movie.
Because you should have.
Yeah.
Not a good movie. Concussion was hyped again. This was supposed to be an Oscar thing for him.
Right.
Yep.
Critics didn't receive it well. People didn't go see it. Who wants to go see a movie about the most depressing thing about the favorite sport in the country?
For sure.
Yeah, another one I haven't seen.
Yep. And then I thought, and so we're basically to present day now. So now it's what's going to happen. Is Will Smith going to just wallow
Tank
out
it.
into, the shadows for the rest of his existence? Is he going to end up being a caricature, a joke, of what he used to be in people's minds, or is he going to turn around? Because I thought, even though I know the movie wasn't great and, whatever, I thought he was maybe the best part of Suicide Squad.
Sure, absolutely. But that's like saying that corn is the best part of my shit. It's still a piece of corn that I ate that's in my shit.
I like corn.
Yeah, I don't. It just felt like it was, they did put a lot of shots in of him and a lot of solo stuff for Will, but I don't know, through all his stuff, I just can't see him. I just see him as Will Smith playing this character or whatever. And you have that popular opinion, Kevin, where you do imagine the same person going through all the characters through all his movies. That's the same, character, whatever. And that Will Smith's the guy that I see that for, where it's just like, oh, it's just, I mean, when I saw Suicide Squad, I was just like, oh, it's Will Smith playing this character. And I'm like, oh, okay. He kind of plays a lot of things sort of similar. I mean, in Concussion, of course, you see him doing something very different, wildly different. And, in Pursuit of Happiness, it was pretty different. iRobot, whatever. But for a lot of his stuff, it's just like, oh, this is definitely Will Smith just, doing sort of the same thing. And I don't know.
But even when he plays serious, sad Will Smith, it's still serious, sad Will Smith.
Right.
And this is why I think a guy like him, people do get tired of. There is that wear out factor. Because there are actors, like Leonardo DiCaprio can play anything. And you don't see Leonardo DiCaprio. So nobody gets tired of Leonardo DiCaprio. You keep seeing his movies. Christian Bale, to a large degree, can play anything. And he transforms. There's guys out there who play just the character. And they can go on and make movies, and they never get that kind of like, I'm worn out of that person factor. But then there's people like Will Smith, who he plays a variation of Will Smith every time. And
yeah, it's like Vin Diesel.
Exactly.
Vin Diesel does that too.
Yep.
He's the same character in Pitch Black,
in
which all of the Riddick movies. He's the same in Fast and the Furious. He's Triple X. That's just Vin Diesel.
Right. And that's why I feel that time is coming for The Rock. I think The Rock makes better choices. He leans into who he is as a personality and takes roles that show off the best part of that. But someone like The Rock, I mean, it's coming for him eventually. People are going to say, I've seen this before. It was just a different movie with a different title. And there are, you know what? Even to some degree, as likable as he is, and I think he made, again, much better choices, Tom Hanks plays the same dude. And that's why Tom Hanks, I think, smartly takes hiatuses. He'll make 2 or 3 movies in 2 or 3 years. They'll all win Oscars. And then he'll be like, I'm going to take a year or 2 off, And it's so he can just let people chill out and then come back. And it's like, oh, Tom Hanks, he's such a lovable dude. I love that Tom Hanks.
I've missed him.
Exactly. So I think it's when you're that kind of actor, the most important thing to your career is timing and making smart choices, making choices that are going to appeal to the best of your personality.
So we need a Tom Hanks, Will Smith buddy comedy is what I'm taking away from this.
Dude, are you kidding me? How good would that be?
Hanks
That'd be
and
good.
Smith.
Seriously, if they were cops or something, I don't know, that would be so freaking good. That is the best idea I've heard in recent time.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, looking ahead, we've got in the listing the announced Bad Boys for Life, which we talked about, Bad Boys 4, which we touched on a little bit. And I do think it's not at all telling because IMDb can be edited, but I think it's kind of funny that in Bad Boys for Life, he's listed as Detective Mike Lowry, and then Bad Boys 4, he's just Mike Lowry. So it's like, we have no story. We have nothing for this, but apparently he was fired in between those 2 announced movies.
We'll see. Maybe. Yeah, probably not.
Maybe. And then Aladdin, where he's playing Genie. And something called Bright. I have no idea what that is.
Bright is interesting. So you haven't seen anything about Bright?
Oh, wait, I have. That's the Shadowrun-esque Netflix David Ayer thing.
This is his Netflix thing.
Yeah.
And
I did
Joel
see that.
Edgerton is in it. He's pretty cool. Who is it? Edgar Ramirez. He's been in a bunch of things. He's pretty cool. It's got some cool people in it. And the premise essentially is it's in a world where humans live side by side with mystical creatures, and he is the first human cop forced to work with an orc.
Yeah, there you go.
So, I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by this one.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I totally forgot it was called Bright, but now that I'm looking at it, yes, I remember watching something about this, and
yeah,
it does
that comes out in December.
Good.
That's still quite a ways away.
Yeah, quite a ways away, like December.
I have some tweets from people. We asked, what was your favorite Will Smith movie? Something Cheeky, the podcast at Some Cheek, said the favorite Will Smith movie has got to be Independence Day. Punching the alien was basically his yippee-ki-yay motherfucker moment. Definitely agree with that. So, and then the Wild Pitch cast, we were on that show before, MIB, and I asked which one. And he said the first one, I guess. I was looking at IMDb and there wasn't a Will Smith movie that blew me away. Never saw Ali, so that might have been one. Sorry, you're wrong. Some of these, we already talked about it. I mean, I guess, would you say these movies, any of his movies blew you away, really? Would you say any of that? I mean, they're all
the
pretty
Legend
good.
Of Bagger Vance. Like, as far as a movie like that's serious, that I love The Legend of Bagger Vance. Love that movie.
Yeah,
that's the only one.
I think I was Independence Day kind of blew me away.
Yeah, I mean, in a different way. Independence Day and Enemy of the State, back in the 90s, those were awesome. Sure. And Bagger Vance was 99 too. So, I mean, he was in his heyday in the 90s. But those movies right there were really good. I've watched The Legend of Bagger Vance multiple times. I really love that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Any other... I mean, we could talk more about his music career and all those hits, all those Fire Club hits.
No, I mean, he's one of those celebrities that has like a million different rumors about him. The Scientology. Someone was telling me the other day about him and his wife being swingers. I don't really even want to get into that. But
I heard that.
He's someone that's easy to take pot shots at,
He is, because he's bigger than life. He was one of the biggest stars on the planet, maybe the biggest star on the planet at a certain time, and now he's got a family, and it's a celebrity family, and they grew up, his kids grew up in the spotlight, and that's weird.
For sure. That
results in odd things. So yeah, it's easy to kind of look at him from the outside and just kind of talk about how weird he is and stuff like that. But, everybody's personal, we talked about this last week, everybody's personal life is a little different. Who judges anybody else's marriage and anybody's kids and how they raise their kids? They're still together. Whatever it is that they're doing, they're still together, and their kids,
it's working for them.
Love them. They don't want to go on talk shows saying how bad my mom and dad were. No, they still do stuff together, and so their family unit, in whatever way anybody else wants to think it's weird, is still a unit, and that's in celebrity culture. That's hard to achieve. So get on them for that.
Yeah, yep. And everybody in that sort of the quartet of the Will Smith family, they're pretty successful, and they're gonna be pretty successful, and it's really funny how people talk to their son, or fans of their son and daughter, like they don't really know, like you were saying, that Will Smith was even a rapper or anything. They don't really know who their dad is. So there's a whole generation of people that are like, oh, I really like these two kids, and oh, Will Smith, who Jada Pinkett Smith, who are they? I really don't care. So it's definitely going to be like a legacy that goes on past himself, and it's just super cool that they're all pretty successful and doing their own thing. Make sure to follow us on all the social media. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Go follow us on social media as well. We know you're listening, so go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at NerdyThingsPod, at NerdyThingsPod. NerdyThingsPod.com is where you can go to get some merch, which is going to be on sale till Friday. If you're listening to it the day this comes out, you can get merch, become a patron, be on our Patreon, get exclusive content, a ton of other stuff I did. Annabelle Creation Talk, we're going to be doing some other stuff. I know Kevin and Tim are going to do some videos that are going to be pretty interesting, so definitely don't want to miss that. Just $1, it's only $1, and then you get into the raffle for whenever we hit 10 patrons, and you'll get a bunch of nerdy loot and the nerdpins.net pin of Elon Musk 2020, which is super cool. We're going to be showing you pictures on social media of the pins that we got, and you definitely need to check them out. Nerdpins.net. Thank you so much for being a sponsor on this episode, and it's fantastic, and really excited because these pins look super great. Can't wait to See y'all have it on. Are y'all gonna wear the pins to work? Because they're gonna be super
I
cool.
plan to, yeah.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna make Tim wear it too. It's gonna be great.
No, I will wear
It's
it
great.
somewhere, but I will not wear it to work.
It's a cool conversation piece.
Sure.
I'm gonna clip it right to my bow tie. It's gonna be right there.
Nice. Yeah, so go follow us and do all that stuff. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave us a review. We'll read them on the show and all that good stuff. So I like to thank.
Yeah, reach out to us.
Sure.
Let us know.
Let us know that you didn't agree with us. Which movie you liked better from Will Smith and all that good stuff. Talk to us.
I just want to quickly mention the tweet of the week. This week's tweet of the week was Jacob Solo replying to the tweet Jules put out about what your movie-going snacks for the theater were, and Jacob said that his favorite is popcorn with enough butter to kill a man, some Sour Patch watermelon, sometimes some Reese's, and a large Coca-Cola.
Sure.
And I'd like to thank Adipsia for the use of his song, Friends Don't Let Friends Go to TGI Fridays. So you can listen to more of his music at adipsia.bandcamp.com. He just released an album called The Stoic.
The Stoic.
That you can find there.
And I'd like to thank the Bell Curve for the music underneath the main topic.
Cool. And like always, we're going to discuss and we're going to let you know the next topic for next week. We're going to let our patrons know first, and we'll let you know on Twitter and all that stuff.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.